those pouches again. Um, and see how they do with. Somebody suggested to try them with the little crackers I have, so I'm gonna try those. Thank you for the likes. Um, so the other day, you guys don't know this, I received like a bag of like grocery items, and in that bag there was these like pouches of like chicken, marinated chicken. They're not that bad. Um, but I'm gonna microwave it and see if it tastes better. Because the whole time I've been eating them, I've been eating them directly from the pouches. So let's see how it tastes. I'm gonna give you guys my honest feedback. If it's still garbage, I don't know. If it's still good, I don't know. Um, but we're gonna try to use it on the microwave safe bowl that this thing claims. So if it works pretty good, we might be using this for food storage in the future. So we'll see. I'm gonna go grab. I'm gonna try to do 2 pouches. I'm gonna try to microwave 2 pouches, and then I'm going to I have to go find. I don't know if I have any more. I don't know if I have any more spoons or anything or any forks. So we'll see. I'm very hungry. This is all the food I have. Literally, this is literally all the food I have. I have the crackers, that, and this. The Pop-Tart s'mores. Like that's literally all I have left. So um hopefully they're good. I have no clue. But if it's one thing I really don't like is having wrappers and food sitting out, so I'm gonna be move this camera over. Oh my god, this thing sucks. I really wish I had a tripod. Okay. I'm gonna be recontaining these. I know people don't do this, but I do this. I'm gonna start doing this. Because they're basically like cookies. You should be able to just pop them in here. Take them out of this weird box. And just pop them in there. Right, guys? Like, you should be able to just take them out of the wrapper and put the wrappers in the box in the garbage. Like, I don't need to hold on to that. So this is me just kind of making sure I'm eating what I'm supposed to be eating and staying on top of my food, because you guys know I'm very skinny. Oh, I should have bought a bigger one. Well, I can't complain. My friend gave it to me, so. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate it, soccer lover. Thank you for the repost. Hell yes. Does it fit? I think it actually fits, you guys. That's nice. That's not a bad setup. That's pretty good. Oh no, it's an inset lid. Well, that's dumb. Why would you? That steals the volume from the. It's an inset lid. That's all right. At least it keeps the air out. I guess I'll just eat this. It's for food anyways. What can I complain about? Now, I'm gonna start doing this a lot more. Like containing food like this, because I think it's gonna be really nice. It's kind of cute too. Very versatile. Those containers are actually not that expensive. Oh my god, this is so annoying. Hold on, guys. This is so annoying. There we go. You got it. What's up, Yari? Oh. I know the pod is open. Before I go in there to do all of that, make sure I have my wallet. Okay. Oh, yes, my headphones have to be charged because they're dying. So we'll plug that in. Good. Where's my little bag? So I keep all of my wallet and stuff in here. Who is putting filtered comments in there, y'all? Somebody is saying things they're not supposed to say because they're getting filtered. It just says some comments were filtered. So somebody is saying something they're not supposed to say. I'm gonna start blocking people. If y'all are saying things you're not supposed to be saying to get me in trouble, I'm gonna start blocking. So guys, please be respectful. Oh. That's so stupid. Oh, that's nice. That's why I don't usually let my friends borrow my bag. Yari, knock it off. Grandma, tell sister to knock it off. She's being mean. She's like, block me then. You block negative ones. Oh my god, she's calling me the B word. That's crazy. Why is she so aggressive, you guys? She's so aggressive. You know women, they're just aggressive. Oh my god, block me then. No, you're an exception to the rule. I can't block you. You entertain me. Me? Block you? No, you complete me. Isn't that right, guys? She completes me. What the heck is this for? Weird. What are you cooking though tonight? I'm gonna try that chicken thing that comes in pouches I was telling you guys about earlier. Yeah. Look at that. Guys, this is why I don't like wrappers and papers in here. Look at how I didn't even that was all just wrappers and packaging. That's literally all this is. And my garbage is already full. That's so crazy. That's so crazy, y'all. I always wonder, like, why are my garbages so full every single day? I'm like, that's so crazy. It's all this extra loose garbage that I don't like. Okay, should I keep the sticker, y'all? Should I keep this? I'll keep it. That I will keep. Okay, I don't know why that's oh no, that's important. Those are expensive. That I will keep right here. Alright, oh my god, bro. My husband's wedding ring, that's crazy. That is crazy. Okay, let me put that away. Cannot lose that. Eating too much sweet stuff. Yeah. I don't have any other food right now, guys. I'm out of food, so. The donations I had literally got water damage outside, and I was so mad. The coons ate most of the stuff that was in there, so. We do have a lot of wiring and stuff. There's a whole box of stuff in here, tech stuff that I haven't hooked up yet. I took a lot of stuff out because it's for surprises. Oh my god, still have more? Oh, we have more. Oh yeah. But yeah, like wrappers, packaging, paper. I'm like, where the heck am I constantly getting garbage from? I'm like always wondering where the garbage is coming from. It's like it's always drinks, food packaging, letters, and just junk. It's always junk. It's like I'm literally paying money every month to remove junk. I hate that. I need to build some kind of a waste management system. Oh my god, that is weird. Turn the light on. It is so creepy when it's that dark outside. I just walk out and it's like super dark outside. That was so weird. Okay, I'm gonna turn the backlight on too because I won't be able to see. I'll be right back, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and run that generator so I can power the microwave, and we're gonna try this little idea I have. So I'm gonna be right back. Okay, so I don't have any lighting in the pod right now. So I had to get the flashlight, but we're looking at doing the last can of mixed vegetables, and Of course, I don't have a can opener. Oh boy. We'll find one. I think we had one, but I'm not sure. We have some chips that that lady brought over. And we have the Polo Asado. I don't know how you say that. Asado. It's bold and smoky citrus marinated chicken. So I got 2 of those. This is the only spoon I had, which is kind of cool because I think it matches the can or the container. And then I have some garlic and herb 30-minute marinade. I think you're supposed to refrigerate it after opening, but I don't think it matters. Shake while refrigerate after opening for best results. I don't think it matters, honestly, if it's just... Yeah, I don't think it matters if it's just that. But we'll see. Alright. I'm gonna go start the generator. I'm an idiot. I just threw that bag away when I should have left it. Because now I have more. More bags! Be right back, you guys. Wow. You cannot hear that generator. That is nice and quiet because it's all the way over there, 25 feet away from me, so that's nice. Alright, so we got our microwave. I'm going to see how well this goes. So I'm going to open this up. Wow, these pouches are really weird. Okay. Just putting that in there. Spoon now because it doesn't look like it's coming out that easily. Okay. Not bad. And of course, no garbage bag. I need to get a garbage in here. Well, now I need to figure out how I'm going to open this. There used to be a trick in camping where if you scratch the top off, you can actually get it to open. But I think I still have my blade in here somewhere. If I can just find it. I might be able to We might have a can opener. I gotta go check. I'm gonna go check again, guys. We might actually have one. Hold on. Okay, we have a can opener. Use a knife, yeah, okay. I go dump the water out real quick. I think it's in water, right? No salt added. Yeah, it's in water. It says water in there, so. Okay. You're probably all wondering, why don't you just leave all your equipment inside? Well, I'm a little old school. I like to keep stuff nice, clean, and organized. I have no idea how to do this. Am I even doing this right? So annoying. Yo, I have not used a can opener in so long. Oh my god, that is so annoying. What the hell? Alright, so we got ourselves some mixed vegetables. It looks like there's green beans, carrots. I don't know what the other stuff is. What's actually in here? Potatoes, celery, peas, green beans, corn, lima beans, calcium chloride. Okay, I have no idea what that is. That's a little bit too fancy for me. So I'm going to put that on the corner. So I guess protein and vegetables is basically what I'm eating. Alright, let's try this. I'm gonna try 30 seconds, because I don't want to overkill. And see how it goes. Oh yeah, you can hear that generator. Oh, that's why RVs have microwaves with the vents in the front. I was wondering, I'm like, what? So that's the difference between an RV microwave and a household microwave. The household microwaves have the vents on the side, and an RV one has the vent in the front. because this would be sitting in a shelf. Let me see how hot this is. Okay. Surprisingly, not that bad. I'm going to do another, let me mix it up a little bit. That's surprisingly not that bad. So 30 seconds. It's not that bad. I did notice that the chicken is very salty, like very salty. Use the rest of what is in the can. Well, that was the idea, but I don't think I'll be able to eat all that. We'll see though. Because remember, I also have chips. So, alright. I'm gonna go shut off the generator. I'll be right back, guys. Okay. We need to run that fan because it is hot in here. It is hot in here, y'all. Yes, it is. It is hot in here. Whew. That's from the microwave. I think that heat just like is from the microwave or something because it just got like really hot in here. Oh, I guess it is microwave safe. That's pretty sturdy. I was expecting it to be like flimsy. That's actually pretty sturdy. I'm amazed. I've seen a lot of products that say microwave safe and all that extra shit, but this is actually pretty firm. Like it's pretty firm. It's hot, but it's pretty firm. So that's good. There we go. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm sitting on my bed, you guys, because I don't have a chair yet. So if somebody wants to like donate the chair, that would be nice. I can actually enjoy eating on my desk. Can you guys believe I had to make my bed? I had to make this house. I had to make this bed. I had to make this door because it didn't fit. All right. Now let's see how this tastes. I'm curious to see. I'm a little nervous. It wasn't too bad earlier. Let's see. It literally tastes like tacos. I kid you not. This literally tastes like tacos, but without the taco. Like, literally. It's like a soupy taco. Not bad. Thank you for the likes, guys. Appreciate it. Let me see. This was the idea I had. I was just gonna like do something like this. Not bad. Now the reason I went with a small container is because my dishwasher is pretty small. So to me, it makes a lot of sense to use something like this. But I gotta fix that dishwasher. I'm gonna see if I can run the dishwasher tonight. After dinner, because I really need dishes and silverware. Okay. I need to turn on my fan because it is hot in here. There we go. No, turn on, stay on. No. Something is on. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh my god, there we go. It's on. Oh, that's nice. There we go. So I had to turn off the lights outside. So what happens is when the when the pod is using too much power, the power inverter can't run. So hi, I don't even go here. How are you? I'm not gonna lie, that feels so good right now. That feels so good right now. And it's quiet, unlike an air conditioner. Oh, wow. That feels nice. Oh, it's bringing the draft in. That's weird. How is that even possible? I don't get it. That's bringing the window draft in. But it's not pointing straight. It's pointing sideways. That's weird. Let me try that. Oh, that's so weird. Did I just figure out an accidental hack? I think I understand why. I can't really explain it, but I think I understand why. So the window's back here, but this is pointing this way and it bounces off the wall, and so I guess it thinks that the door is open. Let me see what happens when the door opens. Oh yeah, it's kind of weird. Let me see. Oh, it's not bad. The one in the back as well. Yeah, I just turned off the one in the back. So yeah, you guys, this is my new setup. This is my my new pod. We have been talking about building Pod 2 for so long. It's been a long time coming. But I absolutely love the design, and I think it's gonna look amazing when it's done, you guys. It's gonna feel just like a home. It already feels like a home. And it's not even fully insulated yet. So I think you guys are really gonna like this build. Oh, it's a huge upgrade. It is a massive difference. As you guys can see how big it is. It's pretty big. So thank you for the likes. Alright, so now I want to try out the only thing I don't like is that the chicken is super salty, so what I'm gonna do next time is I'm gonna get the canned chicken that I normally get, because that's not salty and I can put like lemon pepper and stuff on it. I want to try this stuff, which is the marinara. I think it's marinara sauce. 30-minute marinade with lemon juice from concentrate. Okay, I don't know what that means, but alright. Oh no. Nope, can't use it. I think it's solidified. It's solidified because it wasn't in the refrigerator. That's great. That's garbage. Fuck. Well, thank God for canned food. It got more salty. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That's weird. That's very weird. Oops. So, this isn't bad. It's not a bad meal. It's still food. I think I have enough water to run the dishwasher tonight. So I'm going to do that, you guys. I'm going to try to run the dishwasher tonight, which means I have to run the generator, because we need to get our dishes washed. This is actually really good. I really do like the mixed vegetables. Those are really good. No salt added, that's why. Okay, so guys, Lakeside makes mixed vegetables with no salt added. It tastes really good, I'm not gonna lie. It's not bad when they're warmed up. So it's 35 milligrams of sodium. That's not bad. Not bad at all. But it is better warm though. I did notice that. That is a lot better warm. Y'all, this might be my go-to like dish for food. The only thing I don't like, they have a divider in the middle, which means that's going to be hard to clean out by myself. Okay, Grandma, and send yourself a guest invite. Send yourself a guest invite. T. Phillip, what's going on, T. Phillip?
Hi.
Hi, Grandma.
Hey, how are you?
Good, good.
Yeah. Uh, that's a good meal.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because you have everything right there. You have the chicken, the vegetables, and also carbohydrate.
Yes.
So
That's what I thought.
why I said you should have put the it's like a stew. That's like a stew.
I don't know what it's called, but it
No, no,
is.
no. I'm telling you, that's a stew you have right
This
there.
is a stew?
Yeah. But it's all canned stuff, all pre-packed stuff. You combine together to make a stew.
Okay.
That's a chicken stew.
Oh, okay.
So how do you put the entire can of mixed vegetable in it? It wouldn't be so salty. Because the
Yeah.
vegetable is low sodium, so it will take away from the salt in the chicken.
Yeah, it said no salt, but then like you check the can and there's 25
It's low
milligrams.
sodium. Low sodium means
So they
less
should
salt.
say low sodium and not no salt.
Yes, it's low sodium. Salt is a preservative, Colton, so they have to use salt in there. So, but it's very low.
Is that what was in the water?
Yes, it's like not really a brine, but yes, with other stuff.
I wonder where this came from. Lakeside.
That's a good brand.
Oh, it's Wisconsin.
Mm.
Manitowoc, Wisconsin. It's not that far.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty clean. Like
What's the name of the brand?
Lakeside. It's called
Lakeside.
Lakeside. Yeah.
I think it's a small company. It's a small, maybe
It's
family.
really good. I'm glad that they made this product.
Mm.
It's a very simple.
Mm.
I don't think it was expired.
No, they wouldn't give you expired stuff.
Oh no, I got a lot of expired food. A lot of
Mm.
expired canned food. Yeah. Whoever donated, they gave a lot of expired canned food. I had to like go through all the dates.
Mm. They're not to.
Yeah.
When you're giving, that's a problem. You just defeat the purpose, Colton.
Hmm. Hold on one
Oh,
second. I gotta answer this question my reporter is asking.
all right.
If he thinks things are gonna go back together. Hold on.
Mm.
Okay. So yeah, for those of you that don't know, I do have a hearing scheduled next week with the city of Springfield at the Sangamon County Courthouse. So if you guys want to participate in that and show your support in that situation, please go. It impacts everybody because if the city can get away with evicting people from their homes unlawfully and without due process, this is going to make the news everywhere. So it's not like your landlord who has 30 days to evict you from the day of notice. Well, actually, not even the day of notice, the day after notice. So you guys have to pay attention. Yeah, so I just got another message. He says he thinks there's going to be a good group of people rooting for me. I think everyone's rooting for me. Everyone is rooting for me. It's all over the internet. Um, and the comments are amazing. You guys are amazing. I appreciate everybody's support. I have a fighting argument in this case, and I promise you we're going to win. We're going to win. We're definitely going to win. I have no doubt in my mind that we're going to win. We're going to win. The city of Springfield has no grounds, no merit to bring this case up before this judge. And now that they have effectively damaged their own reputation and circumvented court orders, we're going to win. The city's facing a massive lawsuit of $1 million before a federal judge that's been filed. And I'm going to explain to you guys how we're going to win. First, the city of Springfield tried to supersede court orders by holding their own evidentiary hearing in which they used an attorney to act as a judge, presiding judge, in order to summon me into an evidentiary and obtain information on a case that was already pending in the county level. So that was a screw up, and they know that. Secondly, the day after my last court appearance, not with Springfield but with the county, a publication went out by the city's own company, which manages their power. I'm not going to get into all of the details in that specific note, but I will tell you I did review it, and there was some key information in that publication that's going to help us win this case. Number 3, the city's facing a lawsuit, which means this court has to let the federal judge handle this case because this is now a civil rights violation. It is no longer about whether or not the pod, from what the city is claiming, is considered safe. Okay. The city's argument, the plaintiff, is that the pod is unsafe because it doesn't have running water, it doesn't have a kitchen, and it doesn't have a sink. And that would somehow make the whole living standard unsafe, which is obviously not true. I do have running water, it just doesn't come from them. I do have a bathroom that's a portable bathroom that they don't want to recognize. In terms of a sink, I wash my hands outside. There's no reason for me to have a sink inside, at least not right now. That's in the works, but we have that. Now, in terms of washing dishes and all of those things, I have a dishwasher for that. So if they want to count that as having both hot and running water, the dishwasher makes hot water. So again, there's no standing in this. They also said I didn't have a smoke alarm. There is a smoke alarm on the roof right now. They said I don't have any running power. I have power. You guys, literally right now I have power. And I had power while their own power was shut down. So again, the city cannot pick and choose the standard that they want people to follow because it's not a widely adopted standard. It's not a national standard, and it's also not a global standard. So the city cannot just pick and choose, thank you so much for the heart me, on what they prefer someone to live in. They can't say, oh, well, your bedroom has to be 7 feet in width and over 8 feet tall. That's unnecessary, and there's no standard or substantiated standard, because if somebody's 5'3", do you really think they're going to need 8-foot ceilings? Average human height is 6 feet tall. Where do you get you're going to need 8 feet ceilings at? Is every room in the house going to have a fan? No. So having 8-foot high ceilings is a feature of the home. It's not a requirement. It's not like you're going to bump your head anytime soon if it was 7 feet or anything shorter than that, like 6. Where we see oftentimes in mobile homes. So the city tried to use an attorney as a judge, then they tried to hold their own evidentiary hearing in an attempt to circumvent an existing case. The city of Springfield has a standing history of violating people's rights. A few years ago, they tried to evict veterans, disabled veterans, from their own homes. And the federal government stepped in and said, no, you don't get to do that. And the city was forced to pay millions in damages. So now the city is like, oh, yes, we know that the county allows mobile homes and tiny homes, but not in our city. Nope, you can't have a tiny home in our city, Mr. Lexus. Well, turns out, yes, I can, and I will, I am, and you can't impede on that right because the property in which the tiny home is on is not your property, it's mine, and it's been paid for, and it's been paid for in full, and you don't have any presiding jurisdiction of this property because you don't have utilities connected to this property. You don't have any concern to worry about my safety because you don't have any utilities connected to this property. Your companies and your city plays no role in the daily operations of this property. So when people ask me about this particular case, I have filed my own motions to also suppress whatever fake evidence they claim they have. They say I violated city code for not getting a permit. The pod was not built in the city of Springfield. It was built in Chicago, and it was moved here on my own vacant land. So it didn't need a permit. There wasn't a permit required for a structure that's under 120 square feet. So where do you get that I had to ask for permission to have it here in the first place? So it's not a violation, it's a allegation that I have violated any rules. I didn't. They know this. This building, however, was built here. This building was built here based on faith, based on my religion. This was built here for that reason. The pod was built as an emergency shelter when I was living in Chicago. This pod is being built for faith-based reasons, also because I needed the extra space. So the city is trying to tell a judge that I should not be permitted to live here at this address, even though I'm registered to vote at this address, even though I receive utilities at this address, even though I receive mail at this address, even though I've been living in this address for longer than 30 days, and even though this is my main primary residence. I don't have a job, which means if the city were to kick me out, I wouldn't be able to go live somewhere else. All of my possessions are here. This is considered personal property, which cannot be seized or searched without due process. So my due process rights have already been violated, and as a result of that, the city cannot search this anymore at all. They cannot be in this property. They cannot go into this property. They cannot touch this property. They cannot seize this property. They cannot do anything. And if they do, they're going to be facing another lawsuit and criminal charges for violating my constitutional rights. And that's exactly what's happening here. I filed an emergency motion to for a judge to put a stay on a preliminary injunction, which would allow me to not incur any more violations, but also keeps the plaintiff from moving forward with the case or complete dismissal. Because in actuality, it doesn't make sense for a judge to rule on this case. Now, if the worst comes to worst and somehow they make an argument and I'm evicted from this house, it's going to be all over the news. Why is that important? Well, for one, that just proves that a city can kick you out while violating your due process rights without giving you notice in your own home. And this isn't just happening to me. Remember, thank you so much, Dr. Drew. This isn't happening just to me. Remember, the city filed for a motion, a preliminary injunction, on April the 9th. The first publication of this pod didn't go out until the 24th. If the city was successful in evicting me from my home without notice and due process, nobody would have heard about this incident, and I wouldn't have had a fighting chance. Thankfully, the county judge in which was presiding this case said no. He needs to have notice about this court hearing, and I would like to summon him before this court. Thankfully, I showed up, and the judge transparently told me this city tried to evict me without notice and was denied. Because of that, that is why I'm suing. They tried to evict me from faith-based worshiped housing without due process. Then they violated my due process after going to court at the county level. So this just proves my point that I'm going to win this case. I'm going to win the lawsuit, and I'm going to win this. I don't think a judge, after the evidence I've submitted that I put in, I don't think they're going to side with the city. I really don't. Now, the judge might ultimately say, well, I'm not going to bar him from living there, but he is going to have to get a permit. Sure, maybe, but the judge cannot force me to get a permit on the city's own rule, because they're home rule, not county rule. The county requires mobile homes. So I'm going to tell the judge, Your Honor, that's an unlawful order because the county already permits the use of mobile homes. Requiring me to get a permit at the city level violates my rights. it doesn't require a permit, and the city says that it does. That's a administrative judge that has to decide that. So if she says that I'm gonna have to get a permit in order to continue building or whatever like that, that's a whole different conversation. I'm gonna tell her, well, I'm sorry, but that conversation is not for this hearing. This is a civil matter. That's not for this hearing. The hearing that I'm supposed to have regarding permitting, that goes to an administrative law judge. That's a different hearing at a different location with a different type of judge. So there's going to be a lot of verbiage there. One of the biggest things that I think they're going to try to angle this with and say, well, I want to brief the judge on the religious aspect of the pod being used for religious purposes. And that's where I have to object to it and say, look, Your Honor, the attorney representing the city is not a worship-based organization, and therefore they cannot comment or brief the court on a religious matter. And any comments or briefing that this attorney would present before the judge, in this case, would be their own opinions. It would not come from the city. And if they say, well, I'll allow it, I'm going to say, okay, I would like to cross-examine this as evidence. And they're going to say, okay. And I'm going to say, is the city of Springfield a church? And they're going to say no. I'm like, well, there you have it, Your Honor. I'd like to move to have that dismissed. So, they said in their affidavit that they wrote as part of evidence that I have to have hot and cold running water. I'm going to cross-examine the person who signed it. I'm going to ask, do you work for the city of Springfield? He's going to say yes. I'm going to say, okay, how long have you worked for the city of Springfield? He's going to say like 20 years. I'm going to say, okay, in all of that time, in 20 years, have you ever installed electricity in any residence yourself? He's going to say no. I'm going to say, so then how do you know I don't have electricity? He's going to say, oh, well, I have a system that I type in the address and it tells me if you have connected services through our portal. I'm going to say, okay, so you work for the city of Springfield as an inspector, but you don't work as an electrician, correct? Yes. So then you have no knowledge whether or not there's electricity at that address, correct? So he'll argue that. Then I'll say, okay, so in your affidavit, you said that any building that doesn't have any utilities is considered a dangerous building or a dangerous dwelling. And in order for it to be a residential home, it has to have all of those things in place. It has to have utilities of some sort, running water and electricity, correct? He'll answer yes to that. Then I'll say, okay, so when power goes out in a residential home and that homeowner decides to turn on their backup generator, does that still mean that the home itself is an uninhabitable, dangerous place to live in? Grandma, do you want to answer this question?
No, the answer is obvious. No.
No, of course not. So it's only dangerous from the second the power goes off, or just dangerous because they don't have any power? Does that render the entire home dangerous when the smoke alarm operates on batteries? Right? Does that mean the entire building is dangerous when the carbon monoxide sensor right here is on batteries? Does that mean the entire home is dangerous when I can take a battery-operated flashlight and turn it on? Right? Does that render the entire home uninhabitable when the home has insulation, a roof, ventilation, a window, and a door? No. So I'm going to move on to the next question. To the best ability, you said that this home must have running hot and cold water. This is my favorite part, by the way. To your knowledge, describe water. Go ahead, Grandma. Describe water.
Colton, don't put me on the spot.
This is my favorite part. I don't give a shit.
It's
I'm putting this out there. He's
no,
gonna say, well, I'm gonna say, okay. You said that the home must have hot and cold running water, correct? He'll say yes, because it's in the affidavit. I'll spit out the line number, and then he'll say, and then I'll ask, okay, what's cold water? At which temperature is water cold? Anybody? At which temperature is water warm? Anybody? And at which temperature is water considered hot water? I'll tell you, 112 degrees. That's generally the temperature most people shower in. But he's not going to know that. When you turn on your faucet, does it tell you the temperature of the water? Does it? No. So how do you know you don't have hot or cold water? You don't. Right? Right. Okay. Well, for most households, if when you don't have electricity, you don't have running water because your electric pump is what pumps your water. Right, Grandma?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if somebody has electricity, what are the chances of them also having running water? Pretty high, right?
Yep.
Right. So I'm going to argue that in court. Then I'm going to say, okay, you said I don't have a smoke alarm. Your Honor, I'd like to enter into Exhibit A a picture of the inside of the dwelling. On the ceiling, there's a smoke alarm. Here's the UPC number from the manufacturer, and here's a statement from the manufacturer saying the smoke alarm operates on batteries, and each one of these smoke alarm lasts for up to 10 years at a single residence for a single purposable room. Right? Next thing. Oh, he doesn't have a bathroom. I don't have a bathroom? Right? Grandma, don't get the talk. Jeez. No. Because her and I have already had these conversations. I've already briefed her on my whole spiel in court. So they're gonna say, oh, he doesn't have a bathroom. He doesn't have a sewage system. He doesn't have a place to wash his hands, and he does his cooking outside. Describe kitchen. Go ahead, Grandma. Describe kitchen.
Colton, I told you don't put me on the spot, man.
Just answer the question. Describe kitchen.
The place where you
Well, according to the inspector, a kitchen is comprised of a sink and a place to prepare food.
Meals.
Right? A sink. So it's possible not to have a kitchen outside? Can you cook outside?
Outdoors. It could be either indoor or outdoor.
But I'm going to get to that because we already went through this. So do people prepare food inside? They're going to say yes. Do people prefer food outside? They're going to say yes. So a kitchen can be both what? Inside and out, correct? Correct. And I'm going to say, in your own affidavit, you stated that I wash my hands using a bottle of water. You didn't say that that bottle of water is gravity fed through a spigot. That spigot, when put in a motioned up lever, allows water to run through it in an airtight container. That's 5 gallons of water. Do you think I need 5 gallons to wash my hands at a given time? No. But if I did, I would still be able to use 5 gallons. So if you can prepare food outside, this means you can also what? Wash your hands outside.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I need to have an indoor food prepping area when I do my cooking outside? And my hand washing outside. Doesn't make any sense, right? So It's not that it's unsanitary. It's not that it's unsafe. People cook for special events outside. I practice my religion by cooking outside. There's nothing there, right? And last and final part of the argument, which is he doesn't have a bathroom. I'm sorry, did you not say in that same affidavit that a portable bathroom is not a bathroom? So when a new building is being built, where do you expect those construction workers to use it? Anybody? Right. So the whole argument is just hilarious. They're basically trying to say that, oh, because it's an unsafe and uninhabitable place to live, that you should kick him out of his home. I'm sorry. So you want to kick out a U.S. citizen who has the right to vote, who built their own house on their own property, has updated their address to their driver's license, who is living off grid, utilizes their own utilities, provides their own power, receives their own water, cooks their own food, and is practicing their faith in their house? Is that what the city wants? Dude, you talk so much, I'd let you win the case so I could go home. But it's true. I mean, if you're before, guys, if you go before these cases, they sound fucking silly as hell. Like, this is the truth. And if they start arguing all of that, then I'm going to go to the key findings, which I can't talk about in this live because it's for the courtroom. But trust me, you are going to hear some of the craziest things. You are going to hear some of the craziest key findings that I have found with the city of Springfield, specifically their water, their sewage, and electrical. I promise you it's going to blow your guys' mind. And on top of that, it's going to make news because nobody knows about this so far. Nobody has dug in like I have. So I might even be summoning the city's own City Lights Water and Power Company to court because there's some really significant things I want to bring up in the hearing that are going to change the entire perspective of this case. Literally. Can you explain how you go to the bathroom? Well, I have a portable bathroom and it's maintained safely. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I really can say. I have a portable bathroom that's maintained safely. David Page joined. So, I mean, guys, whether you have all of those things or even just one of those things does not render your entire house uninhabitable. You can still live in a house while it's being worked on. People do it all the time. I've never been to court, not even jury duty. Well, then you may want to pay attention to this channel. I'm not an attorney, but I know how the court works. I know how the rules work. I know what you can submit in court for evidence. I know what you can't. I know how you can cross-examine. I know how you can't. And I'm telling you, a lot of what's happened right now. I mean, I was the one who allowed the judge to put a 14-day hold on this case. Anybody else would have lost it. But where does the waste go? Does it affect the environment? No, it does not. It does not affect the environment. It does not affect the environment, and it also doesn't affect the public because, again, it's my private domain. Both the pod and the property and the safe house that I'm in right now, it's comprised of personal possessions. And what I do with my personal possessions is private, which means I have the right to privacy. And if I get asked a private question in court, rest assured I'm going to invoke my right to privacy. That's number one. And number two, I don't have to answer it. I'm not required to answer it, unless, of course, the judge says, you need to answer the question. And, of course, I'll answer the question. But even if I answer the question, again, it doesn't render the entire home uninhabitable. The biggest argument here is not what happens to the waste. It's what is making this home uninhabitable. That's the biggest question. Why should we kick him out of his own home? what I do with my waste, how it's being managed, is not an appropriate reason to kick somebody out of their home. Keep in mind, home, where they are legally registered to vote and where they can legally worship. That's where it breaks that line of like, okay, it's their property, it's their home. The city does not maintain it because they have no reason to. There's no water lines adjacent on this side or on this side, so it has absolutely no bearing on the city whatsoever. In fact, if I wanted to, I could put up a fence. Not even the cops could come here without a warrant. I'm just curious about how this all works. That's exactly why we're having this conversation. So if you want to live off grid because they have, my argument in court is that I have alternatives. And I don't want to get too far deep because that's my argument in court with the research that I have. But I want to tell you the city is required to allow for alternative uses of energy, water, septic, and housing. And that's really all I'm going to say because I have to save the rest of this for court. Ultimately, the city's violating my rights by not having a variance in their municipal code to allow for my type of living, which is worship-based housing. So the city can't say, oh my God, he's living in a tiny house. We are not going to allow. The city has a moratorium on tiny house living, which means you can't have a tiny house in the city of Springfield, but you can have a mobile home or a tiny house in the county in which the city is organized and formed. Why, you ask? Because both this, I shouldn't be saying this on live, I'm going to say this on live. The city and the county has a financial interest on the property in which I live in. The county permits the use of mobile homes through the state's registrant system. When somebody who has a VIN number or a mobile home gets a VIN number, they get a title. That title can be transferred back to real property. Real property is then taxed at the county level, which means the county benefits, as does the state, as does the city. Why? Taxes. The city can say, he's required to have utilities and force me to connect to theirs. There's a minimum of $12.45 a month, even if the water isn't running. This means you're paying over $100 a year just to have nothing. Your water line could be turned off and the city's requiring you to pay that $12. Now here's the funny part. Let's say this is your secondary form of residency, not your primary. Let's say you live in, I don't know, Michigan or Indiana or California or Texas. You got to pay for a place you're not actually utilizing services in. That's ridiculous. And that adds up. 5 years later, that's going to be $6,000. Come on, I went to sleep. I'm going to sleep. Good luck with the judge. He's going to need it. I think I'll be okay. Everyone knows I'll be okay. I'm going to be just fine. I'm not even worried about it. This case is ridiculous, and they know it. They absolutely know how ridiculous this is. The judge is not going to bite on this case. She can't. It's already being heard by a federal judge. If she oversteps her boundaries, the county gets sued. Okay? Literally the next day, I'm going to file a lawsuit against the county for even allowing that to happen, because that would be astronomical for me. Literally, I wouldn't have anywhere to go. So if a county judge agrees with the city, even though I've shown more than enough evidence so far that's required to plead my case, but I'm showing more evidence on Wednesday. And these are not even words coming out of my mouth. It's from their own publications. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's their own publications that are going to be the ones that they're not going to be able to argue. So yeah, I'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. We're in good standing. And now everybody has seen that video. Literally has been viral. The guy just made himself famous. They fucked up. They thought I was going to go to that court hearing and admit to some form of guilt for some violation they claim that I had. It's an allegation, not a violation. So, it is what it is.
You like your food cold? Did you finish your food?
Did my food finish me?
You let your food cold because you just talk.
It's a strong topic I'm very upset about.
Yeah, you're
Thank
passionate
you for
about
sharing
that.
the life.
You're passionate about it. That upset.
Yes, because this impacts people's rights.
Yeah, but you know.
And I am very tired of corporations like Chicago and Springfield who are abusing their system for monetary gain. This is a monetary gain court hearing. Oh, he's not going to pay for his utilities with us? We're going to force him out of the house and say that his home is unsafe. That has to be the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard.
So what they do? They're trying to push people into homelessness.
You're setting an example. You are that one person. Thank you so much. I set this example already in Chicago. When Chicago tried the fuck out of it, they even sent 3 building inspectors in a squad car to try to tell me that I couldn't have my pod there, that I was going to be arrested and trespassed from the public sidewalk. And I called the commissioner. I said, "Are you really serious about this? Because if you're serious about this, you're looking at a lawsuit tomorrow." So they did their homework after I told them to look into the Illinois Bill of Rights for the Homeless Act, Section 7 and A, that tells you individuals that are homeless have the right to use the public way for an immediate shelter. And you cannot seize their property. You cannot search their property. You can't give them a fine. They have the right to be there. And they have the right to vote and not be penalized for their housing status. And sure enough, they called me back. It's all on video. And they're like, "Oh, you're fine to be there." They never apologized. Grandma, you watched that video, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they never apologized for that. It was a 2-hour-long standoff between me, Chicago police, and their own building inspectors. And slowly, over like a couple months, they tried to harass me enough to get me to move. It didn't work. They made more coverage. In fact, the county sheriffs came by and they started giving me food. They were like, "We're not here to evict you. We're here to support you." And I was like, "Oh, thanks. That's cute." Whatever. So I'm like, "You can't evict me because this is not a residential address. I received mail here, but it's not a residential address. You still can't evict me from my own home because I'm the one who fucking owns it." And now the city is trying to do this on private property. This city is trying to do this on private property. I'm like, good fucking luck. No one's going to fall for this, and it's definitely not going to be me. I'll be very honest with you guys. Even if the judge is like, "You can't live in your home," you can sue the jaws off them. Of course I will. I'm already suing them for $1 million. I'm literally already suing this city. I have a case number in federal court. They were served in open court, the lawsuit. So they've acknowledged they've received it. So I'm going to wait for an email back from their attorney that says, "We want to settle." And I'm not going to settle. I'm going to tell them straight up, "No, you're going to court. You're going to court. If the judge says you're going to pay me more, you're going to pay me more. You're going to court. You summoned me to court. You're going to court." It's that simple. If they default, they would be crazy. Oh, yeah. The judge who was presiding this past week is going to be in big fucking trouble. Because that's coming. That's coming on the news. I promise you that. I promise you that. That judge who was hired by the city is going to lose his fucking job. Because what he did knowingly, illegally, is going to cost him his job. He's going to be forced to resign. or his entire decree is going to be shredded into fucking pieces. Because what he did was illegal. 100%. He didn't even say the court was in session. And join him to the case. He might actually be very well likely, because that's a due process rights violation. And they know. That's why they told the judge they were going to hold the hearing until September. I'm over here like, no. I'm ready to go. You summoned me before your fucking judge. Let's fucking hold an evidentiary hearing. I'm going to laugh in your face when you see me win. I will literally laugh in their face. At the end of the hearing, I'm going to give them the finger and tell them to go fuck themselves. They think they're going to try this shit on me. You're not going to violate my rights. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Over my dead body. We the people will not be silenced. Veterans have every right, under the color of law, to protect themselves. Everyone has right. People are waking up. They are, because this is nuts. And if I didn't know any better, I probably would have been like, oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm just because I'm homeless and blah, 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 blah. No, fuck that shit. Argue their preliminary injunction, word for fucking word. They want to make an accusation against you, read through the fucking print 10 times if that's what it takes. Go in there, line for line, and argue everything they said. If the judge is like, I'm going to have a 2-hour window for you, I'm like, no. We're here because they made a request. I have the right to a speedy trial, but I'm not invoking that. I can hold the trial with a jury, not a judge. In fact, what's crazy is how the judge didn't even know that, because I went before that judge on Monday and I said, Your Honor, I'm invoking my right to hold this trial with a jury. But now I'm going to give her back her power, and I'm going to tell her I'm invoking my right to hold this with a bench trial, which means the judge makes a decision, and if she fucks up, it's going to be on her. It's that simple. If she fucks this whole trial up, it's going to be on her. Never knew you could just invoke with a jury. Absolutely. Anytime you are listed as a defendant in any hearing, you can hold a trial with a jury. You can absolutely do that. And you get to pick, because they're not the one prosecuting you. You get to pick your entire fucking jury. It's not just 6 people. It's all 12. In a civil lawsuit, you can absolutely pick all 12. And you can say, no, I don't know what to tell you. But in a criminal trial, you can only pick 6. The prosecution gets 6, you get 6. That's what makes a jury. But I'll tell you this. I'm going to tell you this from a personal perspective. In a self-defense trial, you want to go with a judge, not a jury. In a self-defense trial, trust me, go with a judge, not a jury. You're going to win. It'll be just fine. I promise you. It's pointless because you don't want... See, this is a little thing I know. I know because I used to do investigations. I'm going to tell you something that I don't want to share. When you hold a jury trial, you're playing off of the emotions of the jury. And they just make up their mind on the emotions, not the evidence. No judge is going to ever attest to that, and no attorney will ever admit to that. But I promise you, when you go before a jury trial, you're playing on the emotions of the jury. And so is the prosecution. They're going to sit there and be like, this person did this. And they're going to try to make you out to be the worst fucking criminal in the face of the fucking earth. But in reality, they're just playing on their emotions. Because if they can win the emotion of the jury, they win the verdict. Whereas a judge can't do that. They have to look at the evidence. If they look at the evidence, that's what makes the case. Yes. Now, in this situation, this is not a criminal trial. This is a civil matter. This is being brought up before a civil court. So scratch that. Let's start over. The city is a municipality. The county is technically a municipality, just on a different level. Okay, so the city is asking the county to kick me out instead of just kicking me out on their own, because they can't kick me out on their own. They need somebody to supersede their decision, or they can get sued, right? If they sent a cop down here from the city to be like, you can't live here, it's unsafe, blah, 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 that would be them overreaching, overpowering, they'd get sued, right? So they're trying to do this the quiet, sneaky way. They're trying to go to a judge to say, oh no, a judge granted this. We had nothing to do with this. When in reality, yes, you did. You absolutely fucking did. Because you tried to get a judge to evict me. This is an evictional proceeding. That's what it is. They're going to deny that all day, every day. This is an eviction. It's an unlawful eviction, because when I told the judge, I said, I technically have 30 days. Just like an evictional proceeding, because the plaintiff is requesting my removal from my own home, citing these non-validated, no basis and no merit for this case reasons. So, if that's what you're asking, then that sounds like an eviction, because define eviction. A formal court proceeding requiring the removal of one or herself from their own home. This is exactly what it is. It's eviction. You can't tell me otherwise. And the judge agreed that, oh, okay, this is an eviction. Like, no fucking shit is an eviction. You should have given me 30 days. Had you given me 30 days, I would have fixed all the issues that they're claiming are issues. But they're not. The city just won't recognize them. They won't recognize that I have energy. They won't recognize that I have water. Correct. Lack of notice. That's a violation of due process. That's what makes it a violation, is the due process. You can't kick somebody out of their home when they're practicing their faith without letting them know. Especially since I've told the public I'm practicing my faith in my own home. If the city knowingly did that, that means they interfered with my civil rights. And if they did that without notice, that's a lawsuit. They've already acknowledged. This is where they fucked up. In their own affidavit, they stated that they knew I'm a Celestican, that I identified as a Celestican, and that's the practice or religion that I'm exercising. As a result of that, they fucked up. They should have never put that in their affidavit. They should have never brought that up. Because they brought that up, it just confirmed to the court they knew that the reason for the eviction has nothing to do with the living standard. It's because of the religion. And they know that if any other Celestican were to come here and do the same thing, everybody would be doing what I'm doing right now. Admission and affidavit, they are willing to commit perjury. Exactly! They've already committed perjury. They just don't know it yet, because I'm going to be questioning them in court on Wednesday. Just watch. They're going to say, oh no, Your Honor, the hearing that he had was not an evidentiary hearing. I'm going to say that I'd like to enter this video into Exhibit B, where it says, when I asked the judge, is this a hearing? Yes. Is this an evidentiary hearing? This is an evidentiary hearing. That's exactly what he said. So I would like this judge to summon the other judge before a circuit court. Because if he says that, and he can't lie under oath because he's a judge, he's going to say, yes, I told him that this is an evidentiary hearing. Boom, I just won the lawsuit. End of story. No federal judge is going to challenge that. None. That is a complete automatic win. You can't. I mean, I already have the evidence, but it's still. If a judge says in open court, because they're going to be forced to, I'm going to summon him before a judge, another judge, that yes, he did say that, you fucked up. What's the reason they are giving? The reason they gave at least the secretary of the county, because when they were confused while I was filing an emergency motion. They're like, why are you filing? Like, what happened? And I go, they just tried to hold their own evidentiary hearing without waiting before a county judge. They're like, what? No, you can't. They can't do that. I go, they just did. They literally just did in the city hall without waiting for the county judge, knowing that there's a case already about the same issue. And then she goes, no, I'm going to call them. I don't believe you. Dada. She calls the attorney representing the city, and he denies it over the phone. He says that was a violation hearing. I go, that wasn't a violation hearing. You are dumb if you believe that. I said, watch the video. I said, it was live streamed on TikTok. Everybody watched it with what the fucks. You can't sit there and deny that. Because I asked multiple times. And then they tried to proceed, and I said, look, I'm ready. You summoned me here. They tried to proceed at 8:30. I told them I was going to wait till 10 when they told me the judge wasn't going to be there till 10. And I was like, all right, fine. Waited till 10. Next thing you know, the judge just calls my name. He doesn't say court's in session. There is no court reporter, none of that. It's on fucking TikTok, bro. I have the whole video recorded on my phone. I'm literally going to admit it before a judge so that she can judge another judge. They even tried to serve me in open court. The city hired their own attorney. The city hired their own judge in their own court hearing to serve me with their own attorney and their own judge. Unfucking lawful. You cannot do that shit. The city's judge asked their attorney to serve me in court. And I told them, I said, I'm not required to accept service by your condition or any other condition. I'm not required to do that at all. I said, this is an unlawful proceeding. There's already a court judge presiding this case at a different level, and he refused to acknowledge that. So it was like, oh, okay. So you're trying to hold an evidentiary hearing knowingly interfering with another court's ruling prior to their decision. Fantastic. You just violated my due process rights. That's exactly what's happening. So they're violating my freedom of religion, violating my due process rights, and tampering with evidence. Isn't that abatement? Yes. Yes. That's why the county clerk was so shocked. She's like, what? And I guarantee they're going to be doing this in court. No, it's not what happened. We didn't do that. I'm like, well, really? The video says otherwise. You didn't specify what type of evidentiary hearing. If it's on the same matter that's already being heard in another courtroom by another judge at the county level, you have no business summoning me to this courtroom. None. And they're going to say, well, we did that summons before this hearing. No, you didn't, bitch. You filed a preliminary injunction on the 9th. You didn't summon me on the 9th. You didn't notify me on the 9th. This summons went out this month. You filed a preliminary injunction on April the 9th. It is July, dumbass. So you knew that you would be interfering with an existing case. Try again. Right, Grandma?
Yeah, you got it down.
You bet your fucking ass I do. These motherfuckers better pay the fuck up. And they need to. Not today, Satan. So I'm going to tell them in open court, hey, I'm willing to settle for $1 less, but not less than that. I'm going to tell them in open court, I'm going to settle for $1 less, but not less than that. You will pay. You will absolutely pay. Guarantee it. You will absolutely pay. This is an easy case. You've already fucked up. And it's all on video. It's all live streamed. And there ain't
So you
shit they
still
can do
gonna
about
wash
it.
dishes, Colton?
What's that?
You still gonna go wash dishes now?
Thanks for changing the topic, Grandma. Much appreciated. You're so sneaky. You're so fucking. And it worked because I just got off topic. Wow. You are so sneaky. You see how she does that, guys? She's trying to protect me without saying other things. So instead of saying, hey, Colton, stop talking about this, wait till court, she's like, oh, are you going to do your dishes, Colton? Colton, you have dishes to do. Colton, go wash the dishes, Colton. Fucking hell.
Oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings.
How's the weather like today, Colton? It's better than ever. You know what happens after it rains? Comes a fucking rainbow.
Oh Lord.
Yes? You summoned me? My friends always get cracked up and they're like, why is it every time I say, oh Lord, you say, yes, you summoned me? Because I'm your master. I'm your lord. I'm your lordship.
Oh,
I'm your king.
yes, you said your piece. That's enough. So
Hey, if it's
this is
anyone that's going to win this case, it's going to be me.
this is now. Yeah.
I'm throwing these dishes in the dishwasher and I'm not going to do it till tomorrow.
All right.
Too late to run the dishwasher. It'll annoy the neighbors.
Mm.
Okay? I'm very considerate.
So I asked you earlier, and did you find your water bottle back?
No.
So that's the same one you had, isn't it?
Right.
You,
My
you
friend
bought
Victor,
bought you one? Oh.
yeah, thank you, Jillian, for the likes. Appreciate you. They thought they can get away with it and you wouldn't do anything, but yeah, they're wrong. Yeah, exactly, soccer lover. Yeah. They really thought they were going to keep this quiet because they knew people would start asking questions about that pot. They fucking knew that. I knew that. Everybody knew that. Because people kept walking up to the property and they were asking questions. So, because they were like, what's that? What is that? I mean, they saw the solar panels and they had no clue what it was. And now everybody knows. Yeah. But you know what's funny? I had the world's best evidence. Grandma. That's my favorite evidence. I'm going to
That's
bring
where you're.
this to court. This is my favorite evidence. It says the date on the back, and I'm going to be like, Your Honor, I'd like to enter this into Exhibit A. I've been practicing my faith since I was a kid, long before I came here. You see that? That's a tiny house I built when I wanted to spend time alone with me and God. I did it in the cold. And Mom was like, honey, what's that? And I'm like, oh, it's a pod. Yes. It's a peaceful offering dwelling. That's what a pod really means. That's what it really stands for. And you guys are the only ones that know. Shh. Oh, yeah. But you guys want to see something even better than that? Hold on 1 second.
Oh my God, Colton is You better stop, man.
No. No. It's my turn. That's what I told God. It's my turn.
Oh,
You were testing me? Okay. It's my turn. Check that out. Man fights City Hall. Let's fucking go!
you better stop.
Let's fucking go! That's what I thought, bitches!
You
Wait,
better.
wait, 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 wait. It gets better. It gets better. It gets better. You said it gets better. What is this? What is this? What is this? Tiny house owner has his day in court. Let's fucking go!
So you were on the front page and then you get the second page? Or
Correct.
oh, wow, you're important.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, this is God working, you know.
To the smiling 31-year-old Lexus, the decision was a victory in his one-man fight against City Hall. Let's fucking go! That's what I thought, bitches!
Colton, after you won this case, you can go work for the FBI now.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
You guys know we're gonna win this case. The next one's gonna be tiny house owner sues the city for $1 million. Just watch. You said what now? You summoned me to court? Oh, you fucked up. My friend TJ, who has known me for years, found out they summoned me. And the first thing he said was, wait, the city summoned you? I go, yeah. And he goes, oh, they fucked up. And I go, I know they did. So it's true. They did. They fucked up. Don't summon me to court. I'm your worst enemy. Just watch. The third one's going to be tiny house owner wins case. And then it's going to be the federal case. So just watch. Next Thursday, I'm going to have a copy of that article. You guys are going to see it. Mark my words. Mark my words. Court decides in tiny house homeowner's favor. Just watch.
Be still. Be still.
Grandma, it's already a win. They've already fucked up.
Be still. Say less.
It's a win. It's already a... What is the judge going to do? What is the judge going to do? She can't rule on this. There's no fucking way.
Say less and watch God work.
I'm just saying, there's nothing that she can... It's already being heard by a federal judge. She can't do anything. It's bounced from one court to the next. There's nothing that she can do. She can sit there and hold an evidentiary hearing, but she can't make a ruling on something that's already open in a different court. If she does, it wouldn't make sense. It just puts everybody at risk.
So the civil. Okay.
So
we'll see. We'll see.
Grandma.
I know. Just don't pay attention to me.
My father would not have sent me here from 10,000 miles away to watch me go through this and leave me.
I know.
Leave me astray.
I know.
Thank you so much, soccer lover. Appreciate you. He's not gonna do that. He's not gonna be like, you know what? This is a test and you're gonna fail. Even if he does, let's just say, even though I know it's not gonna happen, let's just say that the judge decides in their favor.
Yes, you're not gonna lose.
I know, but let's just say that happens, right? Where does she think? Where does the judge think that the city can benefit from this? How? There's no argument the city can make that says, oh yeah, if you kick him out of the house, we'll greatly benefit. There's nothing that the city can say that is going to benefit them. If anything, I'm going to be forced to ask the city for immediate housing assistance, and they don't even have that. They don't. Because if they did, why are we seeing hundreds and thousands of people, of homeless
Exactly.
people on the street?
But then again, it
So,
gonna be just ridiculous because they are
correct,
forcing people into
correct,
homelessness by them trying
correct.
to get themselves out of it. They
Absolutely.
have to figure a way.
And not
That's
just anybody, but
yes, to,
somebody who has built their own home on their own land. If they have the authority and the power to do that, then we, the people, are not mad enough. That's all I'm going to say. We, the people, are not mad enough. If we're not up there, demanding change, we're not mad enough. Imagine this being your kids, your grandkids, your house, your wife, your husband, your daughter. This could be anybody. I'm just some tiny house owner at the corner of my own street. But if at any time they come a knocking and they want to accuse all of these things that are not true on some false intent, on some monetary intent because they're not getting something or they want to prove something to their boss, I don't know, to make a
no,
point or
it
to
just
try
means
to
that
use me as some kind of
society.
example.
No, because society warrants certain
Oh
criteria.
no, I have a private property sign. There's already one up there with the address right on that post. You know what they told me on my first month here? Oh, you can't get mail there. You can't get mail there. You have to have a dwelling before you can get mail there. I go, you're telling me I can't put a mailbox on my property and change my address to my property. You're telling me I can't do that? Watch me. And I did. And ironically, now they're sending me letters. You can't get mail there. You
Yes,
can't get mail there.
it's ten
Really? Well, I apparently I can. You don't
because
control the
they are
mail.
the city do send you mails there.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you think I got notice to go to court? You told me I can't get mail here, yet you sent me a letter. The fuck?
Oh, so they're talking out both sides of their mouths, isn't it?
Literally. How? Okay, I'm just going to say this. How is it the city says that me living off grid is unsafe, yet their own water lines have lead poisoning? It's a 21-year fix. They can't handle it. No, no, no. I'm just going to, no, no. Hold on, Grandma. I'm just going to say this. It's public. They themselves said that. So you want me to pay to run? No, no, no. You want me to pay to run your water line when you have an unfixed problem? As if that would make this home any more safer. Give me a fucking break. And not even 2 days ago, you had a massive power outage affecting 86 people, out of which 3 of them were senior citizens who depend on it for survival. So you're trying to convince this courtroom that I need your shitty services that'll take you 21 years to fix? That you said yourself in your posted article the day after my hearing because you knew I would FOIA it? Give me a fucking break. No, the people of Springfield deserve better. The city of Springfield deserves full transparency from the city of Springfield. And the people deserve the right to have alternative water, alternative electricity, and they have the fucking right to worship in their fucking home. I don't give a shit if you're a judge. That's my right. And you will not impede on that. You will not. You will not.
Colton,
You will
be
not.
careful.
I don't give a shit. It's the fucking truth.
No,
You will
you
not
you
impede on
talking too
my
much.
right to fucking worship.
No, no, no. And
It's
stop
that
it.
simple.
You said enough. You're
I
getting.
know, I know. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna end it right there,
You
and
said
then
enough.
all I'm gonna say. But it's the
You
truth.
don't know who is watching or who gonna take back one.
Hey,
So
I don't care. Post it. Fucking post it. I don't give a shit. That's my fucking right. The truth will fucking hurt, but not for me. The truth sets me free. It's because of my truth, people see through their bullshit and have been able to support me because of this. They're the ones trying to pull the wool over their eyes, not me.
but
I've been
right
nothing but transparent. I've shown
now,
the evidence.
wait until you're through this before you spill everything out.
No. I don't have to wait. They do. I already know victory is mine. I don't have to wait. They do. They're the ones who fucked up. And sooner or later, when that time comes, and I promise you that time is coming, I'm going to see a paycheck, and this is going to make headlines. It's already been making news. You're
Well,
not going to infringe on the people's right to worship. You're not going to infringe on the people's right to live in their home however they please, as long as they're not impacting anybody. You can't possibly sit here and argue two of the same side of the fucking coin. You flip that coin, it better land on heads. Because I'm not a tail. I got a brain where it belongs. I got a brain where it fucking belongs. That's how I built this damn thing. They can flip the coin. I call heads. They call tails. It landed on heads. It landed on heads. It landed on fucking heads, Grandma.
oh my God.
They flip their own coin, and it's like, okay,
I'm,
I'll let you flip. I'll let you flip the coin. I
I'm,
call
turn,
heads.
I'm turning you off now.
Watch this.
I'm turning you off now.
I'm gonna grab a coin right now and call it. Right now. I'm not gonna cheat. Okay. I'm not gonna cheat. Alright. Let's grab it.
Oh,
On the light. Hold on. Alright. How much you wanna bet? How much you wanna bet?
So
I can't say that on the live because I'm gonna get suspended.
you gambling now? Where is it? I don't see the coin.
You don't see it?
No.
What does that say?
Oh. Is that the head and not the tail?
That's the head. You can't tell?
Yes, I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yes, Mr. Lexus.
God is on my side, Grandma.
I know. Yes, I'm telling you, watch God works and He will. Their better days are coming. Better days are coming. So you just have to just position yourself to know what to do when
Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it.
when those better days come.
You know, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. You guys, a lot of things I regret, but this is not one of them. It's not. This has allowed me to live in peace, to be closer to God, to think my life thoroughly. I used to have anxiety, panic attacks. Not as much anymore. It's gotten better. I've been able to work. I've been able to do stuff for myself. I don't blame you one and F, but yeah. Yeah. I know to a lot of people this is a very tiny house, but the story doesn't end there. This is much bigger than that. This is a revolution. This is the next big thing. The fact that I have been able to live my dream. Okay. There's a depressed There was a depressed child 20 years ago, right there, who lost his mother, who was adopted, who was identified as gay. That child had no clue 20 years later he would be building this home. He had no clue he would be building that pod. And if I could look back at myself and say, no, 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 you've got it all wrong.
So
This is just the tip. And I'm just telling you guys, I've suffered for years and years and years and years because of housing. I'm telling you, over decades of housing issues. My whole life, I've been struggling with housing. Ever since I was a kid, I was abandoned at birth. Even after living with my parents, they kicked me out because of my sexual orientation. I like guys, I like girls. It's nobody's business. But you know what? How I live my life is nobody's business. I make it people's business because I'm honest with my followers and I tell people what's going on in my life. But this is what God wanted me to build a year ago. I didn't know how. I didn't know how to build a house. I had no clue about any of this stuff, let alone cut wood and measure it with a measuring tape. I had no clue how to do any of this. And now I can do it with my fucking eyes closed. I can literally teach people how to do this. And to me it makes like sense. I literally can do this in my sleep. But why is this important? Because there are so many people, God's people, that are struggling. And Pat, that's a weird thing to say. There are so many people that are struggling, that are on the streets. These are God's people. We are not far from each other. Thank you, username. Um, and there are people that are going paycheck to paycheck. Like, honestly, you're only a paycheck shy from being homeless. Most people are only a paycheck shy from losing their housing. When housing is a fundamental human right, and I'm so sick and tired of corporations taking advantage and making unfair like they're making it a competition. Housing is not a competition. It should never fucking be a competition. Nobody's credit scores should be ran to get housed. Housing is a priority. If people were housed, there'd be more jobs, there'd be less violence, there'd be less crime. People would have an opportunity to work and go to school. And we wouldn't see people on the street. There would be as much mental illness as there is right now because people struggle with housing. And that is why I'm fighting for this. I'm so tired of dealing with these companies, corporations, and this fake system, this fake fucking system that Americans call housing. It's not. This is supposed to be the land of the free. Where's your American dream? Where is your American dream? You wake up every morning because you have to go to work. I wake up every morning because I want to live. I saw it get worse in 2017 with this leader. Yes. We need change. We need national housing reform. This is what needs to happen in order for Americans to truly live peacefully. Peacefully. What I mean by that is no governance saying you can't do this, this, and this in your own home. Yes, you fucking can. Yes, you fucking can. Who the fuck are you to tell me whose water I should drink? Who the fuck are you to tell me where the lights for my house should come from? It's not coming from you. Thank God the only thing I'm not paying for is a breath of fresh air. Thank God that already exists and it's free. Because if I had to do that, you'd be out of your fucking mind. In this country, our founding principles believed in God. It literally says in every dollar bill, in God we trust. So where are you trusting him now? Where are you trusting him now when all of this was built? Fresh air ain't free right now. No, it's not. To a lot of people it's not, but to me it is. This land was paid for. This house is paid for, and it's being worked on with my own hands. Now, one day, he's not going to be around anymore. But this picture is. This picture will be around, and so will those articles. And I'm going to tell you guys when I'm no longer around. I told you so. But somebody has to start. Somebody has to voice what God's intent is, and that is to bring people back home. So, this is not about me. Why do you think that? Do you remember the story of remember the story in Egypt with Moses? God said, "You're not going to continue to torture my people. Let my people go." And God led those people into the promised land. Remember that? This is the same thing. God is saying, enough is enough. Stop hurting my people. I want them to live how I offered them to live, the way that I taught them to live. Like the good days, the good days, the good old days, the way that is peaceful and in harmony, not the competitive housing. Everyone wants a piece of a land, taxes, money. No, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar and give to God what belongs to God. God is saying, no, this is not what I built you for. You're not designed to work 9 to 7, 9 to 5, 9 to 9. No, you're designed to live, to worship, to be happy, to live in harmony, to live in peace, to live without sin. Why are you here doing all of this and not acknowledging my presence? You spend more time working than you do looking at your surroundings. That's why I'm a Celestican. I believe in the return of Jesus Christ, the real King of Kings, the real Lord of Lords, who's going to come back one day. And I'm going to tell him, I'm right here, Lord. I've been living in the way that you have directed me to live. I used my hands. You taught me to work. You gave me trees. I built this house. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes every single day. I thank you so much for you. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes every single day, but God is guiding me. And I'm not going to let them tear this house down. My favorite part is this. Ready? They tear this house. I will rebuild it in 3 days. They tear this house down. I will rebuild it in 3 days. Turns out I built this one in 2.5 days. That's the crazy part. And you know who else said that? Jesus Christ, when he was at the temple and they were challenging the destruction of his body. So yes, they tear down this temple, this house. God will help me build it in 3 days. That's all I gotta say. Thank you so much, Soccer Lover. Thank you so much, Jordan. So, sorry y'all had to go to church today, but that's the truth. That's the truth. And I'm gonna fight the truth until the very end. That's right. Beep, beep. Grandma, I heard your phone like twice now.
A message came in. That's what it is.
Oh, a message came in.
Yeah.
You're so famous.
No, I am not.
Who's messaging you at 11:20 at night?
Those crazy people who try to solicit business.
Oh. Be them peeps. Be them peeps. All right, guys. Well, it is almost 11:30, and I've been on here for about 3 hours, Grandma. Right? About like 3 hours.
If not more.
Yeah, I felt like I brought you all to church today, and I apologize. That was not my intent. So, I'm not forcing religion down anybody's throat. I'm not that person. You have the right to choose who you want to worship, what you want to believe in. I'm not here to tell you right from wrong. I'm not here to judge you. I don't care who you like, what you don't like. I don't care how much money you have or how big your house is. I don't care what job you have or if you don't have a job. That's not my thing. My thing is this: be happy. Love one another. Take care of yourself and those around you. That's it. I don't care the color of your skin. I don't care what language you speak. I don't care where you're from. I don't. Would care less if you're from Mars. Really wouldn't give two shits. All I care about is people treating other people like human beings. That's it. That's it. And this is what this is about. Living in a real community of people that care for people. So on that note, I'm going to end this live. Tell everybody good night. God loves you. Stay safe out there, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you, soccer lover. Appreciate you. Good night, everybody. I'm going to say good night to Jordan. Thank you guys for participating in this live. Thank you, Grandma, for being here. Thank you to Yari. I'm going to do some quick shout-outs before I go. Let's see if I can... we got Jordan up in here. I already said that. We have Brooklyn Adventure Jogs, Lisa Rosado, Clips 2.0. Good night, everybody. Stay safe.